Can you believe it? The Flirty Daily Life segments are already turning 10. I feel like a proud parent. Feels just like last year we were introduced to this sub-series within the main series, and I've been covering it since the beginning, unlike many of the other reoccurring chapters like the babies or the regular daily life. Not only that, but I may or may not have been the one to coin the term flirty daily life within the community to describe these chapters, even though the series is officially called Daily Life with His Girlfriends. Feels just like yesterday I was ranking these flirty daily lives because I thought this was going to be some one-off thing. How wrong I was, and now it's like our most repeated one yet. But there's no time to dwell on the past. Here's to 100 more flirty daily lives. And knowing Nakamura, there's probably going to be. I'm Moonlight150, and this is my overview of the latest 100 Girlfriends manga chapter, Chapter 251, Rentero's Daily Life with His Girlfriends, Part 10. Be sure to support Sunday by checking out where they post not only these chapters, but the official spin-off manga as well, since we are still getting those, spoiler alert, as well as checking out the official release in your local region to support this series during this crucial time as the anime is currently airing. Now, on to the dates. Our first date segment for this chapter is with Kasuri, and holy shit, what is she wearing? And it's 18-year-old Kasuri to boot. Is it my birthday?
Happy birthday, bitch!
Why are we getting so blessed? We have had back-to-back 18-year-old Kasuri appearances. And here she is enjoying her day with Rentero in her 18-year-old form, and it's gone. We couldn't have had more than a single page with 18-year-old Kasuri, can we, Nakamura? Oh well, I'll take what we can get. The implication that Kasuri is so smart yet couldn't keep track of the 1 hour limit of her drug during the date, or even pack more negation drug to stay 18 for the entirety of the date, is amusing. Also, what's more amusing is that Rentero refers to these clothes as casual clothes. Brother, there ain't nothing casual about these clothes. These are ranked dealing with scrubbed teammates when you're this close to hitting diamond rank in Marvel Rivals level of competitive clothes. God damn it, why aren't any of you getting on the point already? In the continued adventures of the man who doesn't own a television, Rentero and Mamie are having yet another iPad movie date following the chapter where they did exactly that. Though this time Rentero decided to up the spice level of the movie that they are watching. And apparently out of habit, because this seems to be a regular thing with Mamie when she's alone, she grabs Rentero for a passionate kiss, saying to keep his eyes on her rather than the mature scene happening with my man Leo, and for how pervy he is for watching these kinds of movies. This kind of behavior and the fact that it's a habit for her really makes you question what she's doing with that knit Rentero doll at home behind closed doors.
Gotcha, bitch!
I think I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board on who are the most down bad of the girlfriends. But good for you, Mei. Going from not being able to look at Rentero to doing who knows what with that knit doll at home.
Oh.
Between this and your adventure with Kurumi, you're giving Nano a run for her money on the most changed character since their introduction. Couples tend to hold hands, and that's what Rana's first solo date with Rentero is all about, as they meet up to have what looks like a date taking a stroll through the park. Though not before Rentero speaks in tongue about how Rana looks in her casual clothes. Rentero, my guy, you have been spending way too much time with Hahari. It's affecting your speech. Also, you hear that, Kasuri? These are actual casual clothes, unlike that Met Gala ensemble that you were wearing. But as the date gets started, Rana in her monologues about how she would like to hold Rentero's big, warm, and bony man hands, but holds back due to her thinking that might make him think that she's some sort of harlot. Girl, it has now been 2 chapters of Rentero not thinking this way of you for even a millisecond. But I get it, trauma runs deep and isn't fixed overnight. But it is wild to see that even the act of hand-holding also is unsafe from Rana's trauma trigger. And yeah, I get it, haha, uncensored hand-holding, I'll get pregnant, that whole anime trope. But this feels like it goes beyond that. Like, her body wasn't mentioned once during this whole segment by even Rana herself. It's almost like just the emotion of feeling and being happy to physical touch and being around the person you love is also indecent in her mind. I have a couple other thoughts about how she may have ended up like this and how her mind works, but I'm gonna let those simmer until we get her focus chapter where we hopefully get a bit more of elaboration. This is one girlfriend that's gonna need a lot of help. Thankfully, she has just the right group of weirdos to do it, and I still swear they are not a cult. Hello, future Moon from the future here. Since this video has taken so long to come out, we actually got an update showing us that Rana's focus chapter is going to be featuring Iku as her comrade, which is not a girlfriend I suspected at all. Can't help but wonder what that dynamic and story is going to be about. The most robust feminine body versus the toned tomboy. You have to think it's some sort of body positivity lesson given Iku's insecurities about not being feminine at all.
But I'm not exactly the most feminine person.
Guess we'll just find out next week. Future Moonlight, out. More reminders that the Aijo family doesn't own a television. Rin is spending the day over at his place as Rentaro has picked up the latest gore fest of a zombie video game for them to both enjoy. And after a rousing date of slaying zombies with a wide arsenal of weapons, Rin is as happy as can be drenched in the blood of her enemies. Okay, not actually drenched in blood, but she's so happy that it causes Rentaro to see the metaphorical blood splatters from the game on Rin from how happy she is, and how happy he is to see her so happy. It's a happiness self-sustaining circle. Rentaro and Shizuka are out on a long walk for a date, but due to Shizuka's low stamina, Rentaro offers to carry her to the lookout spot. Though the view doesn't take much of their attention as they become fixated on one another instead, in the gap moe we have Shizuka for the first time looking down on him, instead of the typical given how small she is. And I guess Nozawa woke up that day and decided to lock in on this shot of Shizuka because goddamn, look at this art. These two over here just decided to pop up for the first time in 85 chapters. The last time we saw Yukun and the leader of the Gorira Alliance was back in chapter 166, the Beach Sword Fighting Tournament. A whole 2 chapters before I started making content for this series. The entire time I have been making videos for this series, and this is the first time they have shown up in a new chapter. Crazy. But yeah, Nakamura and Nozawa, let's try to remember that there are side characters in this series, and we enjoy seeing them. Also, I swear Yukun has gotten smaller somehow since we last saw him. Madam, what have you been doing to him?
Death by snow.
While in the bed, you know what? Okay, actually, Rentaro, I know it's probably smart and efficient to reuse date ideas like iPad movie dates and naps, but it's really making it hard for me as a content creator when you repeat these date ideas with your girlfriend. Work with me here. Do better next time. Anyway, while in bed for an assumed honor nap date, Mei gets transfixed on Rentaro's heartbeat and feels a sense of joy and bliss and wants to have Rentaro feel the same by having him press down his own head against her chest to hear her heartbeat. But being the pure boy that he is and a girlfriend's bosom being a no-fly zone, he initially declines, which sends Mei into a self-loathing stupor of hating on what she felt like was selfishness for asking for such a request. But Rentaro quickly folds and does as she requested. But he gets so flustered by being pressed up against her chest he is unable to enjoy the sounds of Mei's heartbeat like she wanted because he's so worked up that he can only hear his own. Like it's his own King's engine. And I want to call foul Nakamura. Rentaro has been pressed up against many of his girlfriend's chests, and he did not react this way. Okay, maybe he did a little bit, but not to the extent of him freaking out with this loud heartbeat thing. Seems like a little bit of regression for the Rentaro character for the sake of the bit. Yeah, I can't support this. We must get Rentaro used to everyone's boobs, and I'm sure multiple girlfriends will agree with me. It's picnic time when the wifey as Eru has asked Chiyo to help her improve her cooking skills and made Rentaro a cute little Twin Tails themed bento box. And thankfully her training with Chiyo paid off as Rentaro was driven to tears for how good it was. Granted, even if it tasted terrible, he would still be driven to tears and says it tastes great. Remember Saki's yakisoba? And they celebrate Eru's success in becoming more wife material. Which just reminded me I'm still upset that he proposed to 29 of his girlfriends and hasn't updated that yet. Like, can you imagine how much Eru would freak being proposed to? I need to see that. Come on, Rentaro. We know you can do it. You've wrangled up another 8 girlfriends since the last proposal. It's time for another. Also, I like how this is kind of a follow-up to the Eru, Chiyo, and Matsuri chapter with Eru still taking homemaking lessons from Chiyo. It's a small but meaningful showing that time and character progression does happen in this series. Also like with what happened with Mei in this chapter. And that tradwife agenda is still very apparent with Eru in the subtext, especially when she's pulling out phrases like silly goose here and asking if she would make a good wife. What I also like is that there seems to be somewhat of a continuation of my famous Eru speech from my video on chapter 232, with how Eru isn't so stubborn about wanting to learn more and is actively seeking out guidance from people like Chiyo. Eru continues to be such a fascinating character to observe and overanalyze. Speaking of Chiyo, it's a doggy date with the best boy Wantaro, as they form a little cuddle puddle going from smallest to biggest like some sort of Russian nesting doll. Hell, even Uncle Hero sees what is going on and joins in on the action, and he bursts into tears from just the sheer amount of joy he is feeling. Wait, I thought this was supposed to be a Chiyo segment, not a Hero segment. Get out of here, Hero! We just covered you in the last spin-off chapter I covered. Shoot! Shoot! Ahari promised everything would be totally above board, so he agreed to this particular date. And well, that is exactly what is going on. I guess being banned from having any more baby chapters in the series has left Ahari in a dire need of baby time, and asked Rentaro to go full baby mode in a giant onesie for various hugs and cuddling. And after their playdate, Ahari thanks Rentaro for indulging on her desires, and asks to do it again sometime. Which he agrees because now he may be developing some kind of babyfication interest like Kishka has. And weirdness aside, I think the best thing about this segment is just communication. Ahari requested a certain type of date, they laid out the ground rules beforehand, she got her fill, and there was a hard end to the roleplay and they returned back to reality when the roleplay was over. Which, need I remind you, this is also the same woman who committed chemical warfare in the last baby chapter, turning everyone into babies without consent. That's the word of the day, folks. Consent. This segment was full of it. Communication and consent between, well, I want to say 2 adults, but that's not Rentaro. But 2 consenting parties, let's say that. She didn't trick him into anything, didn't break their established rules while it was happening, and more importantly, dropped the whole thing when time was up and didn't complain or ask for 5 more minutes or whatever, and thanked him properly afterward and politely asked if they could do it again sometime. Where did all this Ahari growth come from? I like it though, even if the roleplay does kind of give me the ick. Also, apparently Nozawa only has one way to draw someone blissfully drooling. Lastly, it's time for Mimi to show off how hard she works on herself yet again, as her exceedingly smooth exceeding level 100 skin needs to be appreciated. This time being a follow-up to the infamous totally not a handjob flirty daily life, now wanting Rentaro to appreciate her entire body's work of skincare. But in the midst of hugging her exceedingly smooth skin, she slips out of Rentaro's arms like a buttered noodle and crashes into the ceiling. Like boyfriend like girlfriend, I guess. So we really need to talk about how we are now getting a clearer picture that Mimi's love language is now physical touch, which might have stemmed from wanting Rentaro to admire the hard work she puts into her beauty. I think it started with her first daily life with her embarrassment of having Rentaro admire her beauty even though it was a panty shot, which evolved into not looking at only her beauty but feeling it in the following flirty daily life with the aforementioned metaphorical handjob, which has now led to this intense hugging of wanting her to feel every bit of her body. You know, between her emotional intelligence as shown in the daily life with Saki, and now this expanded upon appreciation for her hard work towards her beauty of wanting her boyfriend to feel her up, it's nice to have gotten some new layers to Mimi. Fitting we finished the big 1-0 of the Flirty Daily Life chapters with number 10 herself, Mimi.
I would be his perfect 10!
Was that intentional, Nakamura? I bet it was. While not my favorite set, there are definite highlights like the new layer to Meimei and Mimi, and getting to admire Kusuri actually wanting to be in her 18-year-old form, even if it was only for like half a page. Either way, cheers to Nakamura and Nozawa for 10 Flirty Daily Life installments. I've been Moonlight150, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to stay in the know with all of the content that is being posted to the channel. Not only these chapter reviews, but reactions to the anime, as well as something entirely new where I use my director and actor skills to dissect and go over the English dub of the anime. And I got a few other smaller videos in the pipeline too. So, like I said, smash that subscribe button and pound that notification bell if you feel so inclined. It's a busy season in the 100 Girlfriends community right now, so I want you all to join me in the chaos, and I'll see you all next week for Rana's Focus Chapter.
For all this greatness, thank you to the good Lord and all his patience. People killing for nothing just to make some statements. These just problems the world's facing. If I'm in it, he's in it, we both face it. His grace is amazing, no more racing, steady pacing. Cruise control, his gift is free, no stopping.